And now, here's your real estate market update. This has been your real estate market update. Thank you. If you are a buyer's agent or if you've worked with buyers in the past year, then either you or them know all too well that feeling. And it's tough out there for buyers right now. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of things. There's too many buyers, too little houses for sale, multiple bids on one house, some going for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the asking price. And yeah, those things are true. It is a seller's market right now. There's no doubt about it. You don't need to have your real estate license to understand it. It's all about supply and demand. And right now, the supply is short. Construction costs are high. So there's no real alternative to building yourself or anything like that. So the sellers do control the market right now. But if we just take a moment and just pause, breathe in a little bit, let's just kind of look at the overall picture. Like anything else, the real estate market has its ups and downs. Think of it like the stock market. For those of you who don't know, you have a bear market and you have a bull market. The bear market is when basically things are going down. The bull market is when things are going up. So equate that to real estate. You have a buyer's market and you have a seller's market. And right now we're in a seller's market. And for any of you guys that have done investing in Wall Street in the stock market, you know that you can make money in a bear market just as well as a bull market. And you also know on the other end, you can lose money in a bull market just as you can in a bear market. So the same thing can be applied to real estate right now. You can lose money as a seller right now, or you could grab the deal of your lifetime as a buyer right now. The key is to be prepared and have the knowledge that you need to go into these things. So what I was talking about before, as far as win some, lose some, gains, high, lows, anything like that, the key is to do your homework and be prepared. A lot of people who go into the stock market think, the market's going up. They're just going to put some stocks in and watch it go up. They might get lucky. They might hit a few, and that's great. But eventually, that tide is going to turn. That luck is going to run out. And what are they going to be left? They didn't have the skills. They didn't have the knowledge. They were just pretending, basically. They were just going with the current, and they happened to catch a couple fish. So in this market, what you want to do as a buyer, you want to do your homework and be prepared. What do I mean by do your homework? Work with the right agent, an agent who knows the market, an agent who knows real estate, an agent who maybe even knows finance, who has the connections with other professionals that you'll need to get the job done, to put in a competing bid, and to hopefully win that bid. Along with the right agent, you want to work with the right lender. Not every lender who's out there can do every product that's available. Some lenders specialize in FHA, VAs. Other lenders do portfolio in-house loans that they may charge a higher interest rate or charge higher fees for. And so if you're comparing rates, lender A might have a better rate than lender B, but lender A's fees might be a lot more, and those could end up costing more than that little bit of a percentage rate difference. So know your lender, compare apples to apples, compare fees, compare rates, compare everything. Also during the process, you'll need appraisal companies. Right now, the market is crazy. Like I mentioned earlier, houses going for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands more than in the asking price. Most of those times, it's either because of cash offers or because they're putting in a gap between the appraisal and their financing company. So let's say, for example, the appraisal comes back, the house is appraised at 250. they made the offer at 280, then they either need to come up with that $30,000 cash, or they lose out on the deal, or they're doing that full 280 as cash. Inspection companies, are you going to waive an inspection? Some sellers like that idea a little bit right now. It keeps the process moving quicker. They're not worried about the buyer coming back and trying to nickel and dime them for everything. But at the same time, you want to make sure that real estate is one of the biggest investments you're going to make. You want to make sure that the house has some solid bones in it. So inspection company, any other professional you might need. Is it a private well, a private septic? Do you need to do water tests? Do you need to do septic tests? Things like that. Know your professionals. So it does take a lot of planning. And any agent who has been in the business a little while has all of those connections, has worked with all of those different professionals, and will be able to guide you in the right direction. Not all agents may be able to know that off the top of their head. Myself, for example, anytime I get somebody's card, I try to take a picture of it in my phone. I have a little business card app on my phone. So I may not necessarily be able to recall the name and number right off the top of my head. But if you give me a little bit of time, I can dig that up for you and get you. And I make sure that I work with people that I want to put my reputation on as well. Not all real estate agents do that. Some have some backdoor deals with some of these guys. Some are making a little bit of cutoff. They're not supposed to. It's not legal, but sometimes it happens. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in. So know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with them is important. That's the step of preparation and knowledge and homework in doing that. And then once you have all that, once you prepare all that, you need to move fast. If you see a listing on the market, you need to try to see it within 24 hours. And if you really love that house, you need to put in your best and your highest offer that you can put in if you want to get that house. And you need to be ready to move, and you can't have time to really think about those things when you're in the middle of that, because if you do, you've already lost out to the competition. So do all of that stuff before. That's it for this week. I just kind of touched on the basics of those things for you guys. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to try to keep them short to 5 to 10 minutes for you. So I will go into a little bit more detail for you in that next 2 weeks from now segment. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out on any of my social media pages. You can also comment on the bottom of this video as well, and I will try to read it all. So that way I can have the answers for you next time. So now I'm going to leave you. I just want to leave you guys. Just remember, be patient. It is a stressful market right now. It is a stressful market for buyers. So just be patient. Do your research and all of your planning ahead of time. If you're planning to buy a house right now, I would recommend at least 1 to 2 months just in that prepping and planning phase for you. Getting your pre-approvals all in order. If you are going to get an inspection, have a couple inspectors on hand so that way you know the time frame, any tests that you think you might want to get, if you're going to get like a private well or septic or things like that and you want to get those tested. Or think about, hey, look, are you going to waive those? Is that willing? Are you willing to get this house to waive those? So plan, be patient, do your homework. And then when the opportunity comes, strike fast. Be prepared to move. Be prepared to move fast. Make that offer. Stand behind that offer, and keep your fingers crossed and hope you get it. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Make sure you like and subscribe my channel so you don't miss out on the other tips. And like I said, next time in 2 weeks, I will be going in a little bit more depth about those things for you guys. Thank you. Have a great day.